spoken word artists, families, friends. Lend me your ears as I pledge my allegiance to poetry. Let me provide healing through stories, folklores, metaphors, and similes. Let my verbs and nouns inspire a higher power. Let my aspirations turn unwatered seeds into beautiful flowers. Let me unravel generational curses through my positive verses. Let me spit from the heart, there'll be nothing rehearsed, because I pledge my allegiance to poetry. Let me fulfill the need to motivate the people of the world to succeed. Let me elevate their minds so they can be free of any slave mentality. Let me rid their thoughts of all disease. And if they're hungry, then I say let my words feed. If they're thirsty, then I would ask that they drink of me. But with every drink, let them taste eternal peace. Salvation is what they'll feel when I breathe, because I pledge my allegiance to poetry. Now let me get rid of all their insecurities. Prejudice will no longer exist simply because they heard this. Because I banished all their words, because I pledge my allegiance to poetry. Let my words reach 1 or 110, but regardless of how many, let them take this poetic lesson back to their kin. Let their villages grow stronger, because their minds became their shield and armor. All because poetry made me a lyrical former. Let me plant consciousness into their garden. Let purple lotuses grow, because my words sow into the heart of every woman and man, because I pledge my allegiance to poetry, and I ask that my dialect be milk for malnourished babies. Let the vibration of my verses be the light that passed the way. Let my words be the hymns that the slaves sing when they thought it was their last days. And like the Liberty Bell, let me ring, but with every ring, let a poetic verse sing, because I pledge my allegiance to poetry. Let tranquility lie within me. Let my words hold the key to bring back humanity, because I pledge my allegiance to poetry.
Let's go.
Y'all, it kills me when I hear people fix their mouth and say, and they try to use that word Bama in a derogatory way. Now when they say in Alabama, they saying what epitomizes being black and from the South. I claim that, but let me explain what being a Bama really about. You see, Alabama was known as the heart of Dixie. That's what black folks always had at heart. I'm from Mobile down by the bay, and that was the main aorta. And from Jim Crow to slavery, we carried too much of this water to be disrespected by the very people who supply the fuels of our martyrs, while they drinking from the well of freedom provided by our grandmothers and fathers. And on the whole time, it was Alabama that made life better for them, their sons, and their daughters. So when you hating on Alabama, you really blocking what was your own blessings. Keep game. Huggy back, I'm gonna give you a quick history lesson. Now, if you was black in this country, no matter where you're from, to some degree, you always had a hassle. But when cotton was king, Alabama was the castle. Federal land, Polk City, plus a whole bunch of slaves, so they made a square amount of money off that triangle trade. 1876 ended what they call post-Civil War Reconstruction. Last of the Union troops left the South, and the KKK went on a path of destruction. And that sparked the first migration of exodus blacks heading toward that Mason-Dixie line. Couldn't take away white folks were treating them in the South, so they left everything they ever loved and knew behind. But the irony situation is most of them got up north, weren't treated too much better. Disenfranchised, segregated, underpaid, now they got to deal with that cold, cold weather. So eventually over time in the South, what you pretty much had left was the strongest, most oppressed, hardest working people on this planet, searching for knowledge and worth of self. And they wouldn't let us go to their colleges. So we started our own HBCUs. And we missed the pain of our struggle with our Negro spirituals, and we created this music called blues. And it was Bama's like W.C. Handy that gave it to the world to use. They never understood the pain of our struggle till we made them sing and dance in our shoes. Then down in New Orleans, some Obama types created jazz. And people never heard nothing like it before, and it spread around the world real fast. It had so much power and so much energy that anybody could feel it. And y'all scary Negroes that ran up north and let them white folks steal it. But meanwhile, down in Montgomery, it was some Bamas that had enough. So they stepped off on the good foot, and the whole city stopped riding the bus. And some Bamas over in Selma and Birmingham started doing some similar things. And they was led by a Bama preacher, but y'all know him as Dr. Martin Luther King. It was him and a whole bunch of other Bamas like Medgar Evers that fought and died for all our civil rights endeavors. It was Bamas that suffered the most to help change this world. Them Little Rock Nine, them 4 little girls. From Dred Scott to the Montgomery bus.
I don't
think that we really understand that sexy is more than just being, you know, cut and cute in the face. It's a bigger deal than that. So this is called the definition. Sexy, you ain't boo-boo. And I hope I didn't mislead you, because I didn't mean to turn you on. Honestly, I can't even give you my phone number, because sexy you ain't, and I've had about enough of that. And don't get me wrong, you are cute. Your mustache, so trimmed and neat, sits right above your upper lip in a way that doesn't demand too much attention. I'm willing to bet when you're kissing it never interferes. And your teeth shine like they sleep next to the sun, and got me wondering if they're really just porcelain veneers. Plus, the masculinity that channels its way into your throat and erupts in your voice could give ears orgasms. But my muscles do no spasms for cute faces. My time is no longer free to be wasted on lies covered up behind handsomely hidden tracks. Therefore, we are no match for each other. And it's nothing against you. It's just that you're not sexy. Not to me. To others, I'm sure, but to me, you're not it, boo-boo. See, the truth must be hidden in books not available in jails, because they say that's the only time black men read. And though I still have a hard time believing it, I just can't understand why you ain't seen it or heard of it. Sexy has a brand new name, and it's in his swagger when he walks. And if I didn't know any better, I would swear that the letters on the front of his sweater spell S-E-X-Y, because he is so very so. Sexy gives little of his body and lots of his soul. He steals hearts like a burglar with a rose in his mouth. And he's not sexy because he knows how to talk about giving up the best head that will make your legs shiver, your body quiver, and even your liver fluctuate from the way he delivers his tongue. No, sexy gets you sprung on how hung his brain is. Sexy wants to know where your pain is so he can study, detect, observe, understand, take a minute, and then map out a plan to wipe your eye drops free and place him in a land where tears are buried. Sexy wants to get married. Sexy wants to give half of him to his better half so together they can make a whole. Sexy wants his rib back. Sexy wants total control, and not over his woman, but rather his life. Sexy doesn't spend his nights in knife fights, gun battles, and street wars. Sexy would rather be introducing car doors to the open stage for the queen who graces every front page of all the magazines that line up the shelves of his intellect. And see, baby, you are just not ready for that yet. And it's nothing against you. Perhaps the memo is still at your secretary's desk. It just means to me you're not sexy yet. Because sexy is a go-getter. He goes to get her from work, he picks her up from school, and if it's costing him too much in gas, he makes a move that might make you think he's a fool, and he goes to get her transportation. And not because he wants some sort of trophy to dangle over her head when they have their next fight. Sexy does these things because he can't sleep at night if his woman ain't right, because that might loosen that tight arm they share and put him at risk of being single. Sexy allows his heart to mingle with hers. He allows it to dirty dance with hers to the tunes and melodies of Frankie Beverly's Pitch and Marvin Gaye's Pain. But he's still very much a man, secure in his manhood. He knows how to reel his love back in if that's what he needs to do, but he's not afraid to love his boo. And boo-boo, that's just not you. You are cute, but you're not sexy. You stand before me with your eyes openly undressing me, and your lips using subliminal messages confessing to me that the climax of your day will come if you could just hit it from behind. You're not ready to unwind in your bed with your Bible next to your hand, trying to fully understand how Peter became a changed man. You are not sexy. You are just a young man playing in an adult's game, but sweetie, mama don't play chess when the kings are missing, and my eyes pay close attention to the style that you possess. Walking around like the S was branded on your chest before the doctor got a chance to smack your behind. For you, I'd rather pass. I want to be open and free, so when sexy approaches me, he won't have to weed through the same rubbish as me just to get my concentration. See, sexy birthed a nation and built a country on his back, and he's prepared to do it all again, but only on his terms. He accepts his gifts and doesn't fight with his faults. Sexy has a brand new name, and it's in his swagger when he walks. Each leg walks with its own power, its own strength. Sexy's feet have walked 1,000,000 miles in search of his true destiny, embracing each hurdle not as an obstacle, but as a part of his creator's plan to place him on the path of appreciativeness for his final win. Sexy fears God the way that I fear the hotness of stray bullets puncturing my skin. Sexy has a dream like Mr. King was reincarnated in him. Sexy doesn't sink, he swims. Sexy don't give a damn about no spinning rims. He's more concerned with raising the equity on the roof he provides for his family's head. I love me some sexy, and we've never even met. But you or anyone else who can't hold a torch to his flame can forget me dealing with your old lies, your women on the side, and your pride that ain't been swallowed since your last sip of Similac. So go buy a Cadillac and throw some D's on it. I'll be sitting shotgun, not in the back next to sexy. His brain is on 22s, his intelligence wheels are always spinning, and his credit score sits on old school truths and bows. That is my brother soul on ice. That's nice. That's what's up. That black baby boy is sexy. Do us ladies a favor and step your game up.
Spoken word champion, Prentice Powell.
Arsenio, the system don't want us here right now. See, we live in a system that's designed for us to fail. A system that will tell you no matter how wonderful, how fantastic, how great you think you are, there is no you. There is only who I want you to be. From your latest cell phones to the style seen in your most recent videos to my implementation of what you call swag. If you can't brag about how many women you have or the $200 denim on your butt, you are worthless. Your purse is not hot if it is a fall edition and we are in the winter. And as long as your kids have Jordans on their feet, it is okay if they have to eat top ramen for a week for dinner. Your check is in the mail. You fail at becoming grown men, so you don't bother with your younger ones. Give them to me, I'll program them to Viacom. Have them growing up with a single mom and no males to emulate and wonder why so many begin to have extensive rap sheets and ADD with no off switch and download a defense that is nothing but false self-confidence shown through them being overly aggressive. Your misguided women want nothing but diamonds and Fendi, or dreams of finding a professional athlete to pay for their lives because to them being a wife is not a lifestyle, it is trendy. Trendy to have like a little black dog carried around in a bag, the demasculinization of your black man is going according to plan. Flip the coin, and for those who have chose not to go down that road, make sure that any statement they make that may challenge their masculinity are followed by statements of insecurity. We can't have them thinking for themselves. Program dreams to be a mirage. Close enough to see, yet too far to reach. Set their aesthetics to pathetic, AKA camouflage. Allow them to blend in, keyword trend. Downtown corners full of rappers who refuse to give up, even though their stuff sucks, but will allow them to say their piece. At the very least, it'll make them a quick buck. Any more success, initiate Operation Exploitation. Throw them a bit more cash. I am the system. Programmed to initiate commands. You Negroes, you people are programmed not to ask. You are nothing more than empty vessels who have sold their souls a long time ago, and you call me robotic. I am the system. Systematically set to just do. You are systematically set to just do and not think, and you call me robotic. Error, redundancy, error, repeat, error, redundancy, pardon me. I was scanning your culture's current popular music. You want a cop to pay for killing one of you, but carry a no-snitching policy in your own community, which allows you Negroes, you people to have absolutely no accountability. Irony overload, reset. I am this system, systematically set to desensitize your senses, since senseless activity surrounds your society, simultaneously making you love me while shaking in your boots. And for those who dare to overthrow me, allow me to remind thee, 'tis I who provides you with the land and seeds you use to grow your little grassroots. I am the system.